Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Over the past few years, I have noticed something that keeps coming up in conversations with friends, neighbors, and people around my community. People from very different backgrounds are all making one similar comment. We are cutting back. Now, this isn't about people living in poverty. It's also not about people who are wealthy enough that money isn't a concern. I'm talking about ordinary Canadians, the middle class, retirees, young professionals, and even people who earn a good income. They are becoming much more careful about how they spend their money. Today, I want to share a few real-life stories I have seen recently. These are just my personal observations, but together they paint an interesting picture of what's happening. The first story surprised me the most. I know a 67-year-old man who recently moved in with his 96-year-old mother. At first, I assumed he wanted to help take care of her, but there was another reason. He is still working, yet he found it difficult to continue paying for everything at once: his condo mortgage, his car lease, daily living expenses, while also trying to save enough for retirement. Instead of struggling every month, he decided to move back into his mother's house. By sharing one home, they both benefit. He can reduce his expenses, and she has someone living with her. 20 years ago, many people expected retirement to mean greater financial freedom. Today, even someone close to retirement is making decisions like this simply to feel more financially secure. Another thing I have noticed is that people are replacing things much less often. I have a friend who used to buy a new car every 3 years. He also loved Apple products. A new iPhone, he bought it. A new iPad, usually. A new iMac or MacBook, almost every year or every other year. This year, however, he told me, "My current ones are working perfectly fine. There is really no need to replace them." What's interesting is that this isn't because he suddenly lost his job. It's because his mindset has changed. Instead of asking, "What new thing should I buy?" he is asking, "Do I actually need it?" I think many Canadians are asking themselves that same question. Travel is another area where I have noticed big changes. One family I know used to vacation in Europe. This year, they are traveling to Central America instead because it's much more affordable. They also used to shop regularly at stores like Whole Foods and Farm Boy. Now they buy much more of their groceries at Costco. Another family used to visit the Caribbean almost every year. This summer, they have decided to stay within the province instead. They are still having a vacation. They are just finding ways to enjoy themselves without spending thousands of dollars. Many people aren't giving up vacations entirely. They are simply choosing cheaper destinations, driving instead of flying, shortening their trips, or exploring places closer to home. I have also noticed restaurants are becoming more of a special occasion. Before, meeting friends for dinner once or twice a week wasn't unusual. Now many people invite friends over for homemade meals instead. Some families have started meal planning. Others are packing lunches for work again. Even grabbing a coffee every morning has become something people think twice about. It's amazing how quickly small daily expenses add up. A few years ago, it seemed like everyone was renovating something. New kitchens, finished basements, new decks, fresh landscaping. Now many homeowners are saying, "It can wait another year." Instead of replacing something because it's old, people are repairing it if it still works. I have even heard more people say they are learning simple home repairs themselves rather than hiring someone immediately. Young families may be feeling it the most. Childcare, groceries, mortgage payments or rent, insurance, sports programs, everything costs more than it used to. Some parents have reduced extracurricular activities. Others are buying more second-hand clothes and toys. Many are using Facebook Marketplace instead of buying everything brand new. And honestly, there is no shame in that. In fact, buying used has become much more socially acceptable than it was 10 years ago. Retirees are also becoming more cautious. Even those who own their homes outright are seeing higher grocery bills, higher property taxes, insurance increases, and rising utility costs. Some are postponing larger purchases. Others are helping adult children or grandchildren financially, which puts additional pressure on their own retirement savings. Many tell me they are simply trying to make their money last longer because nobody knows what prices will look like 5 or 10 years from now. One thing I have found interesting is that this trend isn't limited to one income group. People with average incomes are cutting back. People with higher incomes are also becoming more careful. Even people who are financially comfortable seem less interested in unnecessary spending. It's almost as Canadians have collectively become more cautious. Maybe it's because we have experienced several years of inflation. Maybe it's uncertainty about the economy. Or maybe people are simply realizing that financial security feels more valuable than owning the latest things. I'm not saying every Canadian is struggling. There are certainly many people who are doing very well. But compared with a few years ago, I do think something has changed. People seem more thoughtful before making purchases. More people are repairing instead of replacing, staying closer to home for vacations, choosing value over luxury. In some ways, this shift may not be entirely negative. It reminds us to appreciate what we already have and to spend more intentionally. Now I would love to hear from you. If you are in Canada, have you noticed the Canadians tightening their belts as well? Have you changed your own spending habits over the past few years? Or do you think things are starting to improve? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!